Welcome to a muggy, summery afternoon at Pony Stadium as we present the next chapter in one of the fiercest rivalries in Suburban East boys soccer. The Stillwater Ponies hosting the East Ridge Raptors. I am Mike Peden, and I am joined by the ambassador, Don Ackerman. Don, East Ridge number 4, Stillwater number 5 in the most recent Class 3A poll. If you go by the QRF scores, the two teams are separated by 0.8 of a point. Stillwater with a slight edge, or I should say East Ridge with a slight edge over Stillwater. Basically, what it comes down to is whoever wins this game would have the inside track to the 1 seed in Section 4-3A.
Yep, it's black and white we're playing today, and we're going to get a solid answer to that question, who's number 1?
We will indeed, and White Bear Lake in the mix as well. So a lot on the line in this matchup. East Ridge with the stronger strength of schedule in terms of teams they've played. East Ridge, a couple of their wins include Minneapolis Washburn and St. Paul Central, two teams that have been ranked throughout the season in Class 3A. Stillwater doesn't have that victory over a ranked opponent in Class 3A. Now, a lot of scheduling commitments carried over from last year when we had the condensed season due to the pandemic, so not necessarily in anyone's control, but when you look at the two sides, you get the sense that Stillwater probably needs this one.
Yep.
And they can't settle for a draw. They'll have to win it if they want to host the section playoffs.
Which they do.
I'm sure they would.
This is a nice place to host a game.
It is indeed. Well, this place hosted the state lacrosse tournament back in the spring. And it was a fine venue. We are underway, and as Don noted, East Ridge wearing the white kit, Stillwater the black with the red accent. No stats available for East Ridge. For Stillwater, Mickey Tatis leads the way with 6 goals. Liam DeJong has 4. But the Ponies, and this is not unusual, spread it around. They won the section a year ago when it was still in the 2-class format, so the Ponies will forever have that status. One of these two, and White Bear Lake, and who knows, maybe Woodbury or St. Paul Central could sneak in there. Someone will be the first section winner in 4-3A. But you look at this group, Section 4, that's going to be a tough out with White Bear Lake. They got a big win over Stillwater last week. That jumbled up the standings. Stillwater and East Ridge, historically, these two have often played each other. And St. Paul Central joining the field after the expansion to 3 classes.
Yeah, Blaine Batcher there just tried to inch up the line. He was told to back up. Trying to take advantage of the bringing the ball inbounds.
The officials are usually on top of it.
They are, and he just kind of wanted to move his team forward. Can't blame him for that.
Of course, but we have a foul on Stillwater. Maybe Ralston got a little too far up the line?
Yeah, actually, I think Ralston stepped inside.
On the line,
yep,
which you can't do on a throw-in.
Correct.
Got to stay
so
in bounds.
He's still now. Yeah, same thing. Same linesman correcting. Number 3, back up.
Yeah.
Get back there, Mr.
The game
Mr.
hasn't
Brady.
started, and already both teams are trying to
take
sneak
advantage.
a few inches in
yes. They say it's a game of inches, right? So if you can take a couple. Stillwater trying to move the ball around. Doing pretty good so far. They've had possession most of the time. Ooh. That was fortunate.
That was East Ridge almost forcing the turnover. That could have set up an opportunity.
Definitely would have. Oh, nice run.
Lead pass trying to hook up with Ashton Johnston, who I believe is one of my social media fans.
That's pretty common, Mike. isn't it?
I guess so. When you have over 11,000 subscribers on YouTube, you just never know who's watching. But no, he's a big supporter of athletics, both men and women. That ball skirts over to the Eastridge keeper, Dylan Parkinson. Derek Dopkins, the keeper for the Ponies. He has started most of the games this season, 800 save percentage.
So far, Eastridge has been trying to get something put together, but Stillwater just keeps taking the ball away and then getting down the field and turning it over.
Long way to go, of course. This is the second of our 3 doubleheaders. Eastridge forcing the turnover. Adrian Lagrevier trying to dart around a couple of Stillwater defenders. He outruns them, and he'll take a shot. It goes wide right, but you have to give him credit for maneuvering past the Stillwater defense. That's something to keep an eye on if he gets another opportunity in the attacking third.
Absolutely. They'll be ready for that next time. I think they did a good job of making him go further and further away from the net as he was maneuvering. And that shot he ended up really didn't threaten anyone. But like you said, he just felt like after all that maneuvering, he wanted to take a shot. But I think a teammate might have been better served there. Stillwater is going to keep an eye on that, I'm sure. They'd rather he do that than actually pass it to a teammate and create a stronger scoring chance.
As we were saying, this is the second of 3 doubleheaders that we're carrying live on Valley Access channels. Don and I are back here next Thursday when the Ponies host Cretin-Durham Hall to wrap up the regular season.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be interesting to see. Like, this is very unusual weather. We have the fall colors. You can see them in the trees in the background, but feels like a nice summer night.
It certainly is. It's been a very warm September.
Yeah, it's been definitely an interesting September. We didn't have that super hot streak like you typically get during the state fair, so that was atypical, but this weather's definitely much more on the pleasant side. I'm pretty sure people are taking in the fall colors a lot more since the weather is very comfortable.
Free kick for the Ponies. This is Julian Schwendeman. That was a deep ball.
Yeah, it was.
Parkinson fields it, but something to keep in mind. Schwendeman, that was near midfield, and he was able to put it on net.
Setting up his teammates quite well. Nice little flick passes there, even though it ends up out of bounds. Stillwater showing off some of their talent.
Eastridge ball, though. Brady Dagan with the throw-in. And in case you're wondering, if you're new to soccer, most of you, I think, have watched that sport before, but it's the yellow line, that yellow-red line that players cannot step in front of on throw-ins.
Yeah, they've it's with these multi-use fields. You've got all kinds of lines and colors, but you've got the flags that can kind of help you and the goalpost to kind of frame the field that you're playing in.
Another free kick awaiting the Ponies after a foul on the Raptors, and I believe Sebastian Arco will line it up. Looking for a teammate. Header!
Ooh.
Just high. That was a well-placed ball, though. And the first quality scoring chance. Schwendeman, I think, got the header just a little high, but we're seeing Stillwater's proficiency on free kicks. Eastridge has to be careful that they don't concede any on the defensive side of the field because Stillwater can put it on target.
Right, Dylan Parkinson was in place for that. Had it been a more lower placed ball, he was ready. But Stillwater showing you early that they are going to come after you, and they're going to get their chances. And here they go again.
Looking for the centering pass this time, and a little off the mark. Soccer, though, such a tough sport when it comes to passing.
Trying to find Captain Riley Buxell there. He's streaking down the field. Good defense by Eastridge.
And that is number 10, Adrian Lagrevier, working around the Stillwater middle line, and miscue there on the Raptors. Looked like number 5 Ji-Hoon Yu momentarily lost his grip. That can happen sometimes on a turf field.
Yeah, pass was a little bit behind and wasn't able to recover. But you can see they're trying to work together, which I think is really nice to see.
Well, remember, this is an Eastridge team that has racked up several quality wins. Their only loss came against Mounds View on September 21st. By comparison, Stillwater beat Mounds View 1-0 on Tuesday. And that's one reason why you see such a tight bottleneck in the section standings, the section QRF scores, that is. Stillwater lost to White Bear Lake, but Eastridge lost to Mounds View.
Ooh.
And that was close, but Stillwater does get the clearance and will have a time to reset. Eastridge, though, with the throw in right away, trying to get Stillwater in an odd man position. That cross a little too deep. Raptors will reset. And a deep ball. Ball is loose.
Wow.
And I believe Arco made the deflection that saved a potential goal. We'll take another look if we got it. Arco or maybe Jackson Peter or Dylan Magistad. It's tough to tell with the numbers sometimes, but we'll get it clean. No, that was Arco. I got to stop overthinking, Mike. Arco with a potential save and a foul on Eastridge. So that corner is for naught. And Sebastian Arco, he won't get credit for a save or a stop, but a nice heads-up play by him to prevent Eastridge from punching it in.
Yeah, and Eastridge, that was Eastridge's best chance to score so far in this game.
Long way to go, of course, 29-16 and counting.
They're really using the entire length of the field. We have a lot of passes that are pretty much near the out of bounds.
And looking ahead at the remaining schedule, if you're wondering what happens if Stillwater doesn't get the win, the Ponies have a pair of winnable games, Irondale and Cretin-Durham Hall. Cretin-Durham Hall 2-9-1 as of today. Eastridge gets Park of Cottage Grove and Roseville. Stillwater eked out a 3-2 win over the Raiders of Roseville as Parkinson scoops up that one. So both sides have winnable games next week in the final week of regular season competition, but it's no guarantee. So having a win on the resume, whoever gets that win will have a huge bargaining chip.
Yeah,
and go ahead.
I was saying a win today puts you in the lead, and really the only thing that can knock you out of it is an unexpected upset. So as long as you don't celebrate this win too much, you're in great shape as you head to the tournament.
And if it's a draw, you would think it would favor Eastridge going to strength of schedule.
Yes.
Stillwater, now, there is one caveat. The Ponies resumed one of their annual rituals, and that is the Hudson-Stillwater Quag. They beat Cedarburg and Stevens Point. Now, when you play teams outside the state, that doesn't factor into QRF. We have a free kick coming up for Eastridge, so a draw would really make things tight going into that final week. This is a deep ball, and it bounces off the head of number 14, Jacob J.R. Ralston is what they call him. So Eastridge will get their second corner.
Which is, I think, what they want to set up.
Nathaniel Lee will put it in play. You never know with the set pieces. And Lee sends that one too high and too far.
Yeah, interesting angle that he went at. It basically curved right in front of the net. Unable to find a teammate, though, because of where it was located. Good idea.
I don't think Stillwater will mind.
Nope. We'll take a pause here to get that ball off the field. trying to keep these balls ready in play. And
one of the ball boys seems amused by 2
Yeah.
balls on the field.
Entertaining.
Well, in case you were not sure, in case you were wondering, we can't play with 2 balls.
Nope, one at a time.
Just one. East Ridge looking for a potential breakaway chance. That's Nathan Ravikumar. And Stillwater's defense gets in there to intervene.
Yeah, I think he was trying to center it, but it went off the defender.
Blaine Batchelor, number 25, came in to help.
That's going to drop off the side of the foot and go out. I do not think that is what Derek Dobkins had in mind.
It's warm, but also calm. No wind, or very little of it when you look at the flagpole.
Right. Good call.
So wind should not be a factor in this one. Stillwater in position.
Ooh.
That cross, right idea, not quite on the mark, but Colin Vilme was in position, and the Ponies make Eastridge pause for a moment. 25 minutes to go in the first half, still scoreless at Pony Stadium in a battle of number 4 and number 5 in Class 3A. And a potential section final preview.
Yeah, you talk about Eastridge having that slight edge. So far on the field, looks to me like Stillwater has the slight edge.
Well, Eastridge has the slight edge in the rankings. Stillwater has the slight edge in QRF. It's the coaches who ultimately seed the field in the section. So free kick coming up for Schwendeman. Let's see what he does with this one. Looked like he was trying to hook up with Riley Buxell, and that ball just a little high. And now the Ponies will throw it in.
They'll get another chance to stay on the attack.
It's early, but from what we have witnessed so far, you understand why these two teams are considered among the front runners in 3A. Both have played really well. Both have had a couple of good chances at the net.
Oh, that's, whoa. Hang on a second.
Foul on Stillwater, it looks like, and Colin Vilme.
That was an interesting call.
Say, yeah, based on your interpretation, you thought it might have gone the other way.
I thought he pushed off, but
free kick for the Raptors. Stillwater able to get in there.
Here we go. I like seeing some teamwork here and some good play. Good defense on both sides so far. This might be one of the few times Eastridge is driven down the field.
They've had a couple of looks.
Yep.
In the early going. This could be the first sustained set. Centering pass.
Good defense.
And Schwendeman bats it away. But it stays in play, and a foul called on Eastridge. Maybe a handball? I didn't see anything outside as far as contact is concerned.
Yeah, I missed it too. I was trying to figure out why that whistle was blown. I didn't see it.
I'd want to say handball because Stillwater touched it last, so you couldn't have an offside call.
Right. Yeah, it's so interesting to watch how Eastridge keeps trying to get stuff started, but Stillwater seems to stop them more. Stillwater trying to break through too. Nice passing, nice pass attempts, but not stringing together anything either. Maybe this is the time for them. Oh, good idea leading your teammate though. I like to see that. And you can see Eastridge does not want to pause. They are on full speed ahead.
Something to keep in mind, often, at least in the games I've covered with soccer, athletes like to take a moment or two to collect themselves before throwing it in.
Yep.
Eastridge feeling that they would have an advantage putting the ball in play as soon as they can.
Yeah, they want to sneak attack.
Right. Hoping to catch the defense out of alignment.
Right. And maybe that's a compliment if you're saying I don't want to wait to pause because that other team's gonna be so good that I need to somehow catch them off guard. It's the only way we're gonna beat them. But there's times I don't think their teammates are set up either to receive that ball when they're so quick to throw it in. Oh, I think you're going to call a foul there.
I believe so, against Malachi Fick.
Yeah, aggressive defense there.
A little too aggressive as Fick gets tangled up with an Eastridge player, so free kick coming up for the Raptors.
Ooh, good placement there. That's off the goalpost and good. Oh, sorry, wrong day.
That's tomorrow, Don.
That's a Friday night move right there.
That is a Friday night move.
They can doink off at the goalpost and go in.
Don't forget that Stillwater and Forest Lake play each other on October 8th. That's a week from tomorrow.
Might be fun to watch. If you like listening to me, I'll be there.
I will be in Orono.
I'll be covering the game with Ted.
I became the Orono play-by-play announcer while you were away.
Congratulations.
So I'm going to be all the way across town.
Hopefully we have weather like this, perhaps. It'll be interesting. It's going to be fun to see how does it change and how quickly does it change.
19 minutes remaining in the first half, and
there we go. Eastridge finally putting something together. Ooh. Dylan Magstrader was off a little bit on defense. Eastridge trying to take advantage. At this point, it looks like a mistake is the way that someone's going to score, because both defenses are doing a great job.
Stillwater takes over on the throw-in, and the official says hold it because we have substitutions coming in. So Stillwater was ready to put it in play right away.
They were.
So Stillwater will send in Michael Modine. Eastridge sending in Connor Yang, and we should add, if you're a football fan, or I should say a fan of the other footballs, Stillwater.
Oblong ball? Is that
yes, oblong ball. Oblong, if you're a fan of oblong football, Stillwater plays White Bear Lake tomorrow at White Bear Lake. That's 1.5 miles from my neck of the woods. Might have to go check it out. Stillwater making a play for it. You saw Eastridge and Nathan Ravikumar. He was eyeing it, so the Raptors maintaining that aggressive posture.
Right. $17 minutes and 10 seconds here. Kind of wondering who's going to score first. Both teams are taking their chances. Both teams are being defended well, but both teams are pushing it and trying to go fast.
Well, both of these teams have had scoreless draws earlier this season. Eastridge and Southwest played to a scoreless draw. Stillwater drew even with Park of Cottage Grove. So you ask who's going to score first, it's possible that
come on,
either side could.
I want to see some goals.
Well, on Tuesday, the Stillwater girls and Mounds View Mustangs played to a scoreless draw.
The scoreless draws are not great. I love to see some scoring.
I will say when I was on the highlight beat, scoreless draws were not fun to scrub through. Made it a little more challenging to find plays.
Right, not a lot of fodder.
Oh, there was plenty of fodder, just nothing that went in. But the bane of any multimedia journalist is the scoreless draw in soccer.
It should almost be verboten.
Well, we don't have shootouts or penalties in regular season competition.
Oh, that'd be so much better. Oh, weak tap there. Turns into a turnover. Eastridge was trying to set something up. Now Stillwater's on the run. Go Ponies, run.
Ponies couldn't find anyone on that last attempt, and we're back at midfield. It seems like we've been at midfield a few times. Both sides can penetrate and get to the attacking third, but
right.
As you said, the defense has been sound throughout. It could take a mistake to create a scoring chance.
Not a lot of activity in the oblong ball red zone area, staying in the middle. But maybe that'll change right here.
Eastridge looking to change their fortunes.
Wow.
Ashton Johnston, he did an incredible job getting around his defender, and his dribbler was just wide left. He had a perfect look, just couldn't put it in.
He did. I think Dobkins was in the right location to just make sure that angle wasn't there. He placed it just out of the reach of the keeper, but I think the keeper had the right angle to stop a goal.
One of the better chances Eastridge has had thus far.
I completely agree. That was a great opportunity.
And the Ponies are on the move, or at least trying to push their way forward.
But on that last attack, it was Eastridge being able to keep possession after potentially losing it. That was what led to the score. I think it's going to take that kind of luck for someone to score in this game because both defenses are solid.
Arco to Modine, and he gets tied up by the Eastridge defense.
Yep, tried to tap it back to himself, but the defense had better plans.
If you just joined us, that has been the theme all game. Both sides able to get to the attacking third on occasion, and we've seen a couple of chances, but
well, the microphone.
I was going to say, now the microphone wants to get in on the action.
It wanted to sound off, I think.
That's what I call a mic check, Don.
Exactly.
You may not always see it from this vantage point, but on our side we have a couple of field mics near the sand pits that are used for track that give you some high quality sound of
not the
field.
mics, but the sand pits are used for track.
Yes, no, the mics are placed near those sand pits. That would be fun though, put a mic near the sand pit.
Just listen to
on a track
Listen
meet.
to the action. Yeah.
If we do a track meet, Ted, write that down. We should consider that.
I love
a sand pit mic.
I love the microphones and the sound quality that VAC TV has on these games.
Eastridge with a deep free kick that gets behind Dobkins. Ball's still loose. Stillwater gets in front of it, but it's still pinballing around.
Oh my goodness.
And a goal kick for the Ponies. They escape. Here's a look at the ball hitting the mic. We'll try to get a replay of that last sequence in a moment, but here it is.
That's his mic check 1, 2. Boom.
Oh, it hit the cord. I thought it hit the mic itself. I think Ryder Sitkowicz
Parker Wellman was beside himself, number 9, thinking, I had a chance to score there. Ooh, aggressive move there.
Well, Eastridge might
down.
get another chance here.
LaGraviere's had a major impact on this game. Nathaniel Lee gonna tee off here.
And we've seen some deep balls in these free kicks. Lee plays this one short. And a dribbler that Dobkins is able to read.
Yeah, I think that short pass actually worked to Stillwater's advantage because their defense was set up for it.
And we remain unable to break this scoreless draw.
I mean, I think one thing that Eastridge has done a really great job of is there hasn't been that over the defense pass that's broken through. They've done a great job keeping Stillwater in front of them. Stillwater's maybe had a more persistent pressure, but Eastridge has not let anyone get by, get deep, and get really too many great shots at their keeper. I mean, at this point, Eastridge just has more shots at Dobkins than Parkinson has faced.
Schwendeman looking to change that. There's
Ooh.
a header that is just high.
But I think that's the execution they wanted, so you got to feel pretty good about getting the play you wanted, because you haven't really seen too many of those connections going on. Even with the corner kicks we've seen for Eastridge, there hasn't been connection going on there.
And here's another look. That free kick, perfect placement, just a little high in the header.
Oh, here we go. Trying to time those runs, but the defense just not allowing much to happen. Oh, that's good teamwork right there.
Wellman near the touchline. Stillwater intervenes. But they have to be mindful. Eastridge.
Oh.
That is going to be Eastridge ball. You saw a bit of a push off from Odine against Brady Dagan.
I did.
And they don't call it, but
yeah, that might get filed into your mind. You start thinking about a yellow card there. Not because of its flagrancy, but just it was so unnecessary.
Well, and it was pretty clear from our vantage point. Modine was pushing off on Dagan.
Right, and he didn't need to. I just love that referee. What are you doing? Back up, he says to Blaine Batchelor. What are you doing? Just go back there. You know where the ball goes.
Oh, I'm sure you see that type of gamesmanship at MLS. And
oh, for sure. And it's funny to see the referees go, come on, dude. What are you doing?
You can't fool the officials, at least most of the time. And they have don't forget, they have line judges too who can assist.
Ooh, nice ball.
Lead
good opportunity. Pass. Just bounces right to the keeper.
Little too strong, but you're right, not a bad attempt.
Certainly something worth trying, that's for sure. We've got just over 7 minutes left here in this first half. It's really gone very much back and forth lately. They're going to call the trip there. One nice thing at this level is there's not an extended amount of I was tripped and now I need to make a show of it.
Not a whole lot of showboating, not at this level anyway.
No, LaGraviere just got up and we're ready to play. No magic spray needed. Let's just go.
Nathaniel Lee, deep free kick. Dobkins with a one-handed punch.
Punched it out of there pretty solidly too. Great job.
And Eastridge will make a substitution. I'm not sure. Ravikumar is pleased as Brady Dagan will await the throw, and Ravikumar was ready to put it back in. But you have unlimited substitutions.
Right, and if somebody's standing up, waiting and queued and been recognized, they should have the ability to come onto the field, no matter how quick you want to be about it. Oh, thought that was a good setup there by Eastridge.
You heard someone yell, "Everybody help."
Yep.
Eastridge has controlled possession time as of late in the first half. As you noted, Don, they're getting a few more opportunities at the Stillwater net. Stillwater's defense has held up thus far, but the longer Eastridge has, the longer Eastridge spends.
Nice.
And on cue, the longer Eastridge spends in the attacking third, the more likely they would find a scoring chance. And Ryder Sitkowicz capitalizes on one.
That was a great header down too. Really a great setup too by his teammate. Dobkins had no chance at that because of that. Look at the placement here. Knows what he's doing, angled it just right. No chance. Well done. Bravo.
Eastridge with a 1-0 lead. Remember, the 1 seed in Section 4-3A likely at stake here.
Ooh, nice
Stillwater
setup.
looking for the quick counter.
Oh.
Dylan Parkinson slides into the ball's grasp.
Yeah, and you saw, if you watch the replay or if you see it later, you can see some communication with Eastridge players where they were talking about what just happened there, because that was a really good chance by Stillwater. 4.5 minutes left in this half. Stillwater needs to use this free kick and get down the field. I think if they're going to beat Eastridge, they're going to need to have some of that passing and unselfish play to make the difference. Oh, he kept that in? No, he did not. That would have been nice had he done so. Lots of enthusiasm by those ball boys. They are enjoying, they love soccer.
Eastridge strolling along the touch line before getting the throw in, and they'll get another try.
Yeah, they're just going to keep inching everybody forward. A slow advance toward the Stillwater net.
Well, hey, Eastridge wouldn't mind a chance to add a second goal to their lead.
No, it'd be pretty devastating, I would think. They can get through here.
Cross, that goes over the head of Ravikumar. Stillwater able to clear it for the moment.
Good job getting it down the field, but not necessarily to a Stillwater player, so they need to have some connections.
I heard someone
just clearing.
I heard someone yell that ball didn't touch any of our players. I'm not sure which side made that proclamation, but you're hearing a lot of commentary.
Bonus commentary, thanks to those great field mics.
And a bit of a push off on Arco, so Parker Wellman, actually Nathaniel Lee will get a free kick here. Has to back up a little bit. Here's another chance for the Raptors to stake their claim. I think Eastridge or Lee's teammates were expecting him to send it toward the net a little more. Stillwater on the run, looking to set up a counter.
Nice job finding his teammate. Get him to the corner.
Got caught up in the corner, but
got that corner. I think that's what he wanted.
Yes. And I think that was a favorable scenario for the Ponies as Modine was pinned near that corner.
He was.
He was onside. I thought Stillwater was going to try to line up for him, but they get the first corner. Riley Buxell will see what he can do with it.
Yeah, a minute and a half. This would be a great time to equalize this game. High over everybody. Eastridge very happy with that going out of bounds. They'll gain possession. And they'll look to finish off this last minute of the half. Key here is not to make a mistake and turn it over to Stillwater, which just happened. Oh, there we go.
Eastridge with the clearance. That could turn into a counter. Here's Wellman. Wellman was content to let that go out of play, and
he was.
Eastridge will get a throw in here. You have to like the aggressiveness Eastridge is assuming in this final minute.
Absolutely.
Not content to coast with a 1-0 lead. Sending a reminder to Stillwater of how much they get after scoring chances, and that ball's deflected. Goal kick, and Stillwater, nope, that's a corner. Eastridge has to hurry to put it in play. Johnston gets it off.
Over
and
everybody.
Goes past everybody. And that brings the first half to an end. A dominant one by Eastridge in terms of attacking time. And all that time led to a goal from Ryder Sitkowicz. The Raptors lead the Ponies 1-0 as we head to halftime intermission. You're watching high school boys soccer on VAC TV.
Community Ed serves a great purpose in our community and helps keep families connected.
Community education has something for everyone.
I really love watching the kids improve. You can do it! Nice job!
Come and see us at Community Ed for a good time for kids and families.
Fun is the name of the game at the Lumberjack. Throw some axes, enjoy Union Alley, sit back, relax, take in the excellent food and drinks. The next time you are out and about in beautiful downtown Stillwater, visit Sarah and the great staff for a fun night out. Visit the Lumberjack off Commercial Street in downtown Stillwater today for a glass full of fun.
Cheers.
I'm Eric Van Scoy, and I'm the principal at Stillwater Middle School. So we have students from Rutherford, Lily Lake, Stonebridge Elementary School, and then we also house the Gifted and Talented program for our 4th and 5th grade students, and they come from all over the district. And it is housed in our south wing. It's a separate piece of the school, but they have an elementary setting that they're part of here at our school. The thing that's been nice is it's allowed our students, our gifted students, to access a lot more materials. So it's been a really enriching experience for them. You have to remember, we were the high school, and so we have high school facilities. So we have high school gyms, so we have cardio rooms, strength training rooms, climbing walls, and we have all the fields. We have a track, we have a football field like the high school would have. We have the music rooms that the high school had that were designed for high school kids. We have the high school auditorium. It may be the best auditorium in the district. The sound in there is amazing. What we do here as a middle school and throughout the district is we try to make our big school smaller. And so we do that by having teams of teachers work with smaller groups of kids. So that group of kids that you're going to get to know when you come into the building, your lockers are next to them. It's not alphabetical. It's by the, it's right next to the teacher that you're going to have for advisory, so that you do kind of come in and feel that comfort of, I know the people that I'm with, I've developed relationships with them, and I have that go-to teacher who's right outside my locker ready to help if I need it. Some of our best staff members are the people who grew up here, were raised here, were educated here, and then went off and had all these great experiences that they're able to come back and enrich the community with, because they've wanted to contribute again to the Stillwater community and be part of that and raise their family here. It's amazing the depth of knowledge that we have here, and then also just their willingness to be flexible and to do what's best for kids. It's not something.
Community ed serves
Halftime intermission, and the Eastridge Raptors holding on to a 1-0 lead over the Stillwater Ponies in one of the fiercest rivalries in Suburban East Conference boys soccer. Mike Beaton alongside Don Ackerman. Don, Eastridge, as the game wore on, that first half wore on, they got more and more control of the offense.
Yep.
That resulted in increased scoring chances, and Ryder Sitkowicz pounced on one of them, giving Eastridge the go-ahead score with the header in the 35th minute.
Yeah, it was a beautiful setup by his teammate. Sitkowicz was just in the right spot. He lined it up, knew where he wanted to put that ball. Stillwater had no chance.
That being said, this is a battle of 4 versus 5 in Class 3A. Stillwater not out of this. I imagine they're going to need to orchestrate a more efficient attack if they look to make their way back. Don, what adjustments would you expect out of Stillwater to answer the Eastridge offensive assault thus far?
Yeah, I mean, I think they got to focus on their spacing and they haven't been able to get past Eastridge's defense, so they've never gone over. I don't know what's on their game plan. If they have that in mind, they might need to keep working on that, keep trying that, see if they can break through, because we saw Eastridge do a couple times where they shot the ball down deep and they were able to connect, and that created an opportunity, and that's really what you want to do. So I think if I'm Stillwater, I try to do that. Otherwise, string some passes together. Get their teammates, get some give and goes going, have some tandems working together, maybe 3 guys kind of passing to each other. Do some of that kind of attacking, because they haven't really been able to do that. And if maybe that will help if the defense doesn't have time to set up, because they're trying to stop these guys from coming at them from multiple angles.
The Ponies certainly not out of this, but this is a game they have to have if they want to get the #1 seed in Section 4-3, which would get them home field throughout the section playoffs. Again, it's going to be a tough section no matter who gets that top seed. And if you enjoy this type of coverage, next week we've got a pair of games coming your way. Don and I are back here next Thursday for the Stillwater Creighton Durham Hall soccer doubleheader, and then Don will join us again on October 8th when Stillwater and Forest Lake square off in high school football. I know you've been away, Don, but the Ponies football team has been throttling the competition.
Yes.
Undefeated, and they have a good chance of making a deep run.
It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. Friday night lights in the fall. I mean, come on. Got to be there for that. And watching, and you talk about the success of football, you talk about the success of soccer, and you talk about the success of basketball. You just have, like, Stillwater just has these programs that just, are constantly in the mix, constantly in the conversation. And I think that's impressive, more so than anything else.
They do indeed. Ted and I have often joked about the lengthy postseason runs we have to accommodate.
It's a good problem.
It is a good problem. Well, we're happy to potentially have that problem again this fall. But we still have some regular season games to get through first before we worry about section and state playoffs. Right now, Eastridge looking to capture that 1 seed, and a win over Stillwater would take them a long way to doing so. We're back in a moment.
Community ed serves a great purpose in our community and helps keep families connected.
Community education has something for everyone.
I really love watching the kids improve. You can do it! Nice job!
Come and see us at Community Ed for a good time for kids and families.
Fun is the name of the game at the Lumberjack. Throw some axes, enjoy Union Alley, sit back, relax, take in the excellent food and drinks. The next time you are out and about in beautiful downtown Stillwater, visit Sarah and the great staff for a fun night out. Visit the Lumberjack off Commercial Street in downtown Stillwater today for a glass full of fun.
Cheers.
We've all had a phone that was once cutting edge. But over time, that phone starts to show its age. New software won't run as smoothly, or at all. Parts for repairs are hard to come by. And because of rising costs, you can't get the same amount of phone for the same price you did years ago. In Stillwater Area Public Schools, our operating levy is 8 years old and is expiring. If it expires, we wouldn't just have an out-of-date levy, we'd have no levy at all. Much like an old phone, our operating levy needs an upgrade to support quality learning for our students. On November 2nd, Stillwater Area Public Schools will ask the community to vote on a 2-question referendum. Question 1 would replace our expiring operating levy. Question 2 would provide the district its first ever technology levy. An expiring levy may be like an old phone, but the district is full of actual out-of-date and barely functioning devices that need to be upgraded. The pandemic has had a big impact on teaching and learning. The district received one-time COVID funds to start updating our technology. But we need a sustainable funding source to keep pace with the needs of our students. Both the operating levy and the technology levy will give our students the support they need to be active and engaged learners in an ever-changing world. After 8 years, it's time to consider an upgrade. Learn more about the referendum and remember to vote on or before November 2nd.
Stay up to date on all the program information involving Stillwater athletics, concerts, and other events all season long on social media, Valley Access channels on Facebook, Valley Access TV on Twitter, or our website, vactv.org. Lots of concerts coming your way, and plenty more sports coming your way as well. Second half about to start with Stillwater and Eastridge. Mike Beaton alongside Don Ackerman. And as we turn the calendar to October, this is the last day of September after all.
Get out their pumpkins. Pumpkin spice has already been well underway, though.
Forget the pumpkins. The holiday displays are already out.
Yep, and then get your Green Day song ready, because that's coming.
Get your Green Day song ready. Well, you've already played through Earth, Wind, and Fire, I imagine. Eastridge with a 1-0 lead over the Stillwater Ponies, and we hope to bring you some section and state tournament coverage should any of the Stillwater teams advance. Now, football, of course, they play in 6A, so they don't have the section bracket like the smaller classes do. They just play a straight 31-team bracket. But the other sports, soccer could see themselves making their way back to U.S. Bank Stadium potentially.
Obviously, that's the goal.
That's the goal. That is the goal, unless your goal involves protecting the Pepsi fridge.
Nice.
I'll be curious to see if Stillwater can find a way to penetrate the attacking side of the field. They had a couple of chances on free kicks, but as you said, Don, at halftime, not a lot of momentum on that side of the field.
No, early on, Stillwater looked really strong. I don't know if that was Eastridge, settling into their game plan or what was happening, but Eastridge kind of took over. And so far, they haven't let Stillwater put anything together yet in this first minute.
And a reminder, if you're following along and plan to stick around for the girls' game, that will take place about 20 minutes or so after the conclusion of this game. So just keep it right here if you're watching on Xfinity or YouTube or vactv.org or wherever you happen to be logging in. That's how it works for the doubleheaders.
Yeah, I mean, with this weather, too, I'd encourage you maybe to come out to the stadium because beautiful night outside, very comfortable,
Yeah, but then
and
you
get to see some quality teams.
You get to see some quality teams, but you wouldn't hear some quality stories from us.
Bring your phone and watch us on your phone.
Wouldn't that be counterproductive? Come to the game and then watch on your phone?
Just for high replays and highlights.
Or wear it like
We've got you covered there.
Or wear it like racing with those headsets.
Yes.
That some of those fans wear. So you watch the game but put on a headset. I've got it now. Bring your headset with.
Yes, bring your phone and your headset. You could listen to us talk about things while you watch the game, and you can look down and watch replays because live's always a little bit ahead of the stream, just by a fraction, and you could see that. You could see something maybe you missed. Speaking of not missing, look at this. Eastridge down, right in front. Ooh.
Ravi Kumar couldn't find
a
teammate.
Yeah.
On the centering pass, but once again, Eastridge looking to establish their offense.
Stillwater's got to string it together and make sure they do not turn it over. Eastridge has their claws ready, and they're ready to score again. Wow, that was aggressive.
Arco was looking for Connor Parker, but that pass was nowhere near the vicinity of Parker.
And that's the kind of pass they got to be real careful with. Make sure that that does not get intercepted. Here we go. Go to the right. Nice.
Bit of a hesitation move by Modine, and a challenge by Brady Dagan.
Yeah, Modine almost like he had the chair pulled out from under him. Good defense there by Magistad. And so far, Stillwater still hasn't connected on any of those deep passes. Eastridge defense up to the task. Flags up.
Offside. Parker Wellman signaling to his teammates, I believe.
Yeah, he's saying number 14 was in front of me. I wasn't offside. But the guy in the blue shirt disagreed.
I couldn't tell from here, but the line judge made the ruling, and Wellman a little upset about that.
Yeah, and sometimes when you disagree with the ref, nothing changes.
Sometimes, most of the time, we don't have challenges here or VAR.
Nope, there's no VAR. And that was an interesting pass. I don't know what they were thinking there. Just clear the field? Certainly wasn't anybody down the field. But Stillwater still hasn't strung together multiple passes, and they're willing to take a chance. They tell Johnston, just run. Run and get it. Oh, they're saying touched by Stillwater.
So that challenge by Johnston. Flipping possession, at least for the moment.
Oh, he saved it. Great play by our goal scorer.
That was Sitkowicz. He finds Wellman. Wellman to Sitkowicz. And that was almost a second score. But Dobkins able to play the carom, the deflection, and catch it. But Sitkowicz, that was another fine setup from Wellman to Sitkowicz, and Eastridge almost went up 2-0.
Yeah, Dobson had that lined up. Dobkins had that lined up, sorry. Dobkins had that lined up, but it was a great, that's the best chance we've seen in a while. Certainly better than anything Stillwater's put together recently. They really need to string some passes together.
The problem for Stillwater is
Eastridge's defense is too
yes.
good.
Just a moment ago, you saw Eastridge able to make a couple of challenges and wrestle the ball from Stillwater's control.
There we go. Tap it back. Oh, great D. You're going to have to like pull off the perfect dribbling maneuver to get it past this East Ridge D. If there's any hesitation, you're not going to get that ball. Like right there. I guess we're going to have a foul here that some of the Stillwater fans are questioning. It's going to give Eastridge a good opportunity. And we're just inside 33 minutes in the second half. Eastridge looking to set up a solid 2-0 lead. Good defense.
Henry Lippman. No, that was Lee. Looked to go off speed. But Stillwater still can't establish a passing set. They can get 1 or 2 passes in there, but that's about it. East Ridge's defense doing a splendid job getting in passing lanes.
Absolutely. And right there, I think maybe you're seeing some of the frustration with Liam DeYoung just standing there, looking at where the ball went out of bounds. Gonna have to go after that ball. Maybe he'll get a chance here. Nope. Oh, they're gonna call that. Modine gonna get the foul. A little hip check.
Can't do that in this sport.
Nope. Well, you can. You're just gonna lose the ball.
I guess you could. It's not advised.
Just happened.
But
you won't be rewarded for it.
You're wondering why it's a big deal that Eastridge is preventing Stillwater from getting those lengthy passing sets in. Well, here's a deep free kick that sails over everybody. It disrupts rhythm. Stillwater can't get into a flow. They can't get into the setups that they like. And as you were saying, Don, Stillwater's frustrations starting to seep to the surface.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see if they can't keep their composure, maybe a goal will help them settle down. This is looking good right here. Good patience here on the pass, but again, defense steps up with Johnston knocking that ball away. But the composure on that drive was good because I could see a little frustration seeping through. You see a little bit of aggressiveness, being overly aggressive. That's not going to work to your advantage.
Not against a team that can pounce on a mistake. You to Johnston. Ball changing hands. Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Yes, or feet.
Can't use hands unless you're the keeper.
Oh. Good idea, aggressive, but not connecting with a teammate.
Eastridge will reset, and Parkinson will put it back to midfield.
Oh, here we go. Oh man, good defense. Ooh, see there? That's what Stillwater needs.
Modine with the chance. Yes.
Oh. 29:02.
Modine with the equalizer in the 51st minute, and I was thinking to myself, Don, and I was about to say until Modine scored that what Stillwater needed was a counter. An odd man situation where they didn't have to worry about setting up a lengthy set. That was their look.
That was it. And really that was through persistence, right? Eastridge had their foot on that ball, but it got back to Stillwater, and Stillwater took advantage of the opportunity Modine puts it right on the post, out of the reach of everybody, and it bounces up into the net.
It was Connor Parker who wrestled the ball away from Eastridge. And that turnover, you hear this quite a bit in hockey, but Eastridge could go up. Johnston got it! A fortuitous ricochet right in front of him. And 20 seconds later, if that, Eastridge goes back in front. It's 2-1.
And Johnston's trying to find his superfan section to celebrate with, but he ran toward the Stillwater side. I guess there's some family members over here cheering him on. He went and found them. That was very quick, 28:46, so not much.
16 seconds, I believe.
16 seconds later. Eastridge showing their aggressiveness.
We were talking about counterplays, and Johnston just got a full head of speed and used that burst. Ball bounced in his direction a couple of times, and
he was able to control it, corral it off the Stillwater players, and then put it into the net.
And I was going to say, had a couple of chances at it, and then found himself with a wide open net.
He had to persist pass, and Stillwater looking to equalize again. Now we have some goals. That's what I wanted, Mike. This is what I wanted.
Well, it's rare to see goals 16 seconds apart.
Yeah, no scoreless draw today. Yes.
Not in this game anyway. We still have the girls portion of the doubleheader, but...
Oh, come on. I want a lot of goals there, too.
But Stillwater not out of this. Schwendeman on the free kick. Header, saved by Parkinson.
I think you're going to have to do what Sikowicz did and just have that nice placement so that it's not somewhere easily for the goalkeeper to grab.
What do you think is Stillwater's mentality? They get the equalizer after grinding for it to open the second half, and then 16 seconds later, they find themselves back where they were, trailing by 1.
I think you just say to yourself, we can do the same thing. And I think the fact that they broke through means they can score again. I don't think it hurts them in any way. And Johnston's just besides himself, just trying to figure out what's happening. I can't believe this is happening. Well, it's happening. You had a great goal. Keep focusing. You can get another one.
You were mentioning scoreless draws earlier. I had perhaps the double whammy of soccer doubleheaders a few years ago, where I covered back-to-back scoreless draws involving Stillwater. It was a non-conference doubleheader. The boys drew even with Southwest. The girls drew even with Lakeville North. Neither side put up a goal.
Wow. Well, I know Stillwater definitely does not want to repeat that here. Look at everybody's down the field, and look at how many Eastridge players are down in that end zone. It's pretty impressive. Stillwater staying aggressive. Even their goalkeeper's on the 20.
J.R. Ralston. We'll try again. I think the issue with that is Stillwater's offense was spread out. Eastridge forming that wall.
Literally. Telling Riley to drop.
And we'll do this again.
But look again, look how packed in all those players in white jerseys are.
Ralston with another chance. Tried to sandwich it. Well, they'll get a corner. It did. If the goal was to get a corner out of it.
I guess so.
Sandwiched it with you and Buxell, and Riley.
He just dropped, so it hit the Eastridge player in the face, I think.
Riley with the corner.
Ooh. Someone's,
and a foul on Stillwater.
I think Stillwater would like to line up somebody with one of those booming kicks, but Eastridge is not letting that happen. Like you said, that literally a wall in place. A white wall that won't let anyone through. And Eastridge has to be pretty happy they've survived that barrage.
They can't exhale yet. We still have an eternity to go in soccer time.
Yeah, one victory at a time. That's a nice ball forward. Gonna have to connect some passes though. I think we have a timeout here for substitution. Calling some hand checking, giving Eastridge the free kick. I think this is exactly what Eastridge wanted after Stillwater came after him pretty hard in the last couple minutes. Give him some time on offense, give him some time to relax, set something up.
Johnston again. It's 3-1 Eastridge. Ashton Johnston squeezed it in the tight space between Dobkins and the right post.
Running to the corner to celebrate, and really you see his skill. Look at the patience there. He uses off foot to tap it back. Goalie has no chance. Was hoping the defense would help him out.
And that was set up by the free kick from Lee. So that handball proves costly for the Ponies, and the Raptors get a cushion with a 3-1 advantage.
Yeah, and the way that Stillwater's been playing, it's a pretty dominant score. Stillwater's going to have to put some stuff together here to get a second goal, put pressure on it. Otherwise, it's going to be a long 20 minutes because Eastridge is not done scoring. If they get chances, they're going to take them.
Well, they got a little too aggressive there.
Yeah.
A foul called on Lagravere. And a hard hit.
Really kind of crazy in a way how he dove himself into the air. One of the Stillwater players ran under him, but it looked like, watching it, it felt like slow motion to me. Like he was really jumping up way in the air. And I'd like to think he's just rattled because he was not expecting that to happen.
That was William Larson. And that's a good sight to see.
Yeah, he looks like he's just taking a breath and collecting himself.
Magestad given a yellow card. Perhaps we can take another look and see what happened.
He kind of ran under. He ran under Larson when Larson was in the air. I saw Larson jump really high into the air. Wasn't really sure he needed to be that high up in the air. And obviously, Magestad did not need to come up under him to kind of cause him to do basically a cartwheel in the air and land on his back and head area.
And that's what led to the yellow. It was Magestad getting under William Larson, and as you said, causing that awkward landing. So a yellow to Magestad.
And not really from a contentious point of view. Like, Magestad wasn't really going for the ball. Larson really wasn't going for the ball either. I mean, the ball was way overhead. So unfortunately, I look at it as an unnecessary play followed by another unnecessary play. So yellow card, to me, is the right thing to do.
Well, it was good to see Larson get back up. Like
Absolutely.
you said, maybe he needed a moment to catch his breath, but anytime you land on your head or your back like that, you always hold your breath for a moment because you never know what can happen.
Yeah, you definitely want to go into all the medical checks, make sure everything's okay with the player. So
Eastridge leads 3-1 with 22:20 left in the second half. A win for the Raptors, and they get the inside track to the 1 seed, which would mean hosting the section playoffs throughout.
I mean, bus rides are nice, but the shorter the better. It's nice to be home.
And White Bear Lake still in the mix based on the QRF score. Now the Bears have 2 losses, Eastridge with just 1. Eastridge and White Bear Lake got a draw against each other. White Bear Lake got the win over Stillwater, so depending on what transpires in this final week of the season, you're going to have a lot of coaches studying resumes. And you also see some hurting with conferences, so the Suburban East teams will probably help each other out. St. Paul Central in a tough spot. Eastridge looking for more. And Arco gets in the way, but the Raptors are not content to coast with this 3-1 lead. They are looking to make a huge statement, an emphatic statement in this battle of 4 versus 5. And
Yeah,
Ashton Johnston, go ahead.
If the Stillwater defense has been solid, but if they make one mistake, I'm guessing that turns into a goal, because Eastridge is, like you said, persistent. They're not giving up, and they want to score more goals.
They want to send a message.
Yes, I was thinking that. Good call. Stillwater wants to make the most of these 20 minutes.
And you look at the Eastridge resume. Wins over Washburn and Central, St. Paul Central. Did have that loss to Mounds View that opened things up in section and conference play. Here's Ashton Johnston again. He's been busy.
Showing off his skills.
Had a tough angle there, but looking for the hat trick.
Yes. Probably wasn't going to happen there, but definitely showing his aggressiveness and using his ball handling skills to get opportunities.
And you know what? I imagine there is a degree of confidence among Eastridge because they have spent so much time on the attacking side, able to capitalize on counters, get sets off, that they might feel a little more bold.
Yeah.
Not cocky, of course, but I think they have a degree and air of confidence about them with that quick score 16 seconds after Stillwater equalized it, and then Ashton Johnston getting open once more to give Eastridge a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, I agree with your assessment of bold, too, because I think you could make a mistake and it's not going to cost you the game, but you can also be a little risky and push it to extend your lead to 3-1 while we wait for a substitution.
Larson going back out on the field after he had to visit the bench for a while due to the injury timeout.
Probably had that concussion protocol exercised. And
they take that seriously these days.
See, like, you look at that pass by Stillwater, I get what you're doing, but the odds of that being successful have been very low against this Eastridge defense. Every single time Stillwater's tried to push it down the field, you've had 1 or 2 Eastridge Raptors right in the way, making it impossible to create an opportunity.
Arco taking a shot from deep. That goes just over the crossbar.
Nice placement. I think the Raptor goalie had that lined up, but that's the best chance Stillwater has seen in a while.
And Stillwater has to look for chances any way they can get. They trail by 2.
Got a little bit more than 17 minutes to do something about it. That's going to be a foul.
That will award the Ponies a free kick.
And that's what they want. That's exactly what they want right now. They're going to set it up. Arco's going to run back to kick it. And they're going to get all their players moving up. And keep Meta back for defense.
This one low.
Little kicks here and there, but no one's getting that boomer, I think, that they'd like to have. Eastridge not giving them a chance to have that just powerful kick go through and to really threaten the Raptor goalkeeper. Parkinson's had a good game, but Stillwater really hasn't made it that hard. Parkinson doing everything that Parkinson needs to do. Stillwater not making it too hard. But just there you could see a little bit of that aggressiveness, some shoulder to shoulder. Stillwater trying to muscle it through. I like some good connection passes there, but now here at this point you're talking, you're going to have to collect it, beat the defense to score, and that's a lot to ask. Eastridge has not shown itself to be vulnerable in that fashion.
In fact, they're looking to move the ball downfield and almost do so. Throwing for the Ponies. Wellman making some aggressive plays for it.
Oh boy.
They were looking to set up for Johnson. We've got a scramble for the ball and a couple of Stillwater defenders able to clear it after Dopkins and number 14, Max McCurris, collided.
Yeah, very aggressive move by the Stillwater keeper. And you got to be careful because running around down there was Ashton Johnson. And like you said, thinking hat trick. I don't think Alston can score enough for Alston's needs, so don't give him another chance. And when your keeper's taking down the other player, you got to be careful. Right there.
Johnston a step behind.
But looking to wrap his leg around the goalie and score.
And Dopkins is feeling it.
Right here we can see that play again.
Johnston was a step behind and ended up colliding with Dopkins instead of the ball.
Decent tackle in the end zone.
And that stops the clock with 14:30. Let's take another look at the state rankings if you're joining us as Derek Dopkins gets back up. This is why we've highlighted this matchup. Here's the significance of it. Eastridge 4, Stillwater 5 in the most recent Class 3A rankings. Southwest right behind them in the 6th spot.
Dopkins is now up and standing, gingerly moving in the end zone.
And you saw Maple Grove and Wayzata up there as well. Wayzata, another one of those teams that competes no matter what the sport. And Maple Grove, both of their soccer programs doing well this year.
Again, nice flick forward, good aggressiveness by Stillwater, but it's going to be tough to get past the East Ridge D.
And looking at those rankings, again, we iterate the advantage that Eastridge had in strength of schedule. Stillwater doesn't have any ranked teams in the most recent poll. Eastridge playing Southwest and Washburn, who was up there for a time, Southwest. So you're looking at a scenario where the Raptors by virtue of this win, if it does end up a 3-1 victory, barring any more scores, Eastridge will figure to be the favorite to get out of Section 4-3A. Historically, Stillwater and Eastridge have played each other a lot in section competition in the 2-class era. It was often the Raptors and Ponies in 4-2A that would square off in one case, and we could have this again. You had the same two teams, and this is the one issue I have with high seeds. You had a scenario where both teams were 1 and 2, but the rankings were flipped. So one year when the boys won it all, they got to host Eastridge in the section final, as Dobkins will go out. Could potentially still be feeling some ill effects from that hit he took from Johnston.
Yeah, I think as long as he stayed on the ground after being hit by Johnston, I think he wanted out of the game.
Arco sends the free kick in.
Oh, there you go. Oh, decent. Some decent ideas happening. There's a chance.
And Parkinson gets to the ball first before DeYoung could do something with it, but
He actually clotheslined him, I think.
Came close to it, but Parkinson stayed upright.
Yeah, DeYoung gives the thumbs up as a thank you to his teammates, saying, I'm okay. That was a nice job.
But as I was saying, my one issue with the high seed format that more sections have used, and soccer is one of the rare kinks. Soccer, lacrosse, the seasons mirror each other, a little different in basketball and hockey, but you had a scenario, and depending on what happens, you could have a similar one here where you have both teams playing in the section final but at separate sites because of the high seed rule. So you split your audience effectively. And I would think for a sport like soccer or lacrosse, it would be advantageous in those scenarios to have one site where the boys and girls can support each other, because there's a lot of crossover.
Sure.
Between the two.
Well, especially with siblings.
Siblings, significant others, friends.
People supporting the supporting the sport.
Fans helping fans, as a certain person
does say that often. Yep.
Yes.
Might even be a hashtag.
Yeah, might be a hashtag somewhere. I'm not sure who coined it, but I know I've seen it on Facebook once or twice.
You have. That's a fact. I think Ponies Helping Ponies is something that Stillwater fans would like to see right now. Got 10 and a half minutes left here.
The question is, can they establish some sort of set? They really haven't been able to mount much of an offense. They did score in that counter, forcing a turnover near the Eastridge net, but that's about it.
But some good give and go here. Now look down the field, find your teammate. Don't try too hard. That's the kind of break they're going to need. Almost.
Tatis. And you saw Buxell there.
Good defense by Eastridge, but Stillwater able to have those bounces go their way, get their feet on the ball, and now they're going to throw it in and try to get a score here.
Ponies still with time, as you see the girls team warming up. Eastridge with a big clearance.
They do not want the ball anywhere near the net.
Brayton Hayes took over for Dobkins on the Stillwater net, and Eastridge sends that one deep.
Trying to take advantage of him being so far out of the box, just hoping they can launch it over him. That was not happening.
And even if you don't score, you just want to eat up time at this stage of your Eastridge. They played aggressive and still show that mentality, but at this point, you're okay if you just kill clock.
Right. I think the one thing that the Stillwater's boy team that I haven't seen is I haven't seen one player who's significantly faster than the others. I think that's what it's going to take if they're going to try to win, if they're going to try to launch the ball and go get it. I haven't seen anyone have clear separation.
Speed hasn't been an issue for Eastridge, especially Ashton Johnston.
Right.
can position himself downfield when he needs to. He's not on the field now, but he put in an impressive display, scoring 2 goals.
Yeah, and being close to another one on multiple chances. And this is the kind of teamwork that Stillwater's showing. This is the kind of effort they need to get a goal. He's got to pass that, though. Eastridge very happy to just dump it down the field and just watch that clock tick below 8 minutes. Interesting moment there with the referee helping get that ball off field.
Free kick for the Ponies.
They're going to swap out who takes it.
That's Ilya Lalik, and that will eat up a few more seconds. And you've noticed Eastridge, well, the free kick played a part in that, but they're taking a more defensive posture. How about that play?
Wow.
Parker Wellman, the only player in the vicinity of the 10-yard ring, 10-yard area. Stillwater with the throw-in, but Wellman with a big deflection.
Yeah, and you know, the accuracy of a throw-in versus the power of a free kick. It's a very good trade by the Eastridge defense. Showing some real intelligence there. Sacrificing his body to prevent Stillwater from putting something together. And now we're getting as we're getting to 6 minutes. Eastridge is not in a big hurry, but they're not willing to not try scoring. So you can see they're still coming down the field hoping for an opportunity.
Well, one reason they weren't in a hurry, they were taking advantage of the situation, getting a substitution in before the 5-minute mark. As you may know, once you get past 5 minutes, the clock stops if the leading team makes a substitution. So Eastridge taking advantage of a chance to wipe away more time before you get to that 5-minute window.
Good idea, and there's another player waiting to sub in now. We're at 5:48, so probably just keep lining somebody up. Let's eat some more clock.
Foul on Eastridge. You've got 2 Raptors players ready to sub in.
Stillwater willing to sacrifice some time to set up what they want.
And they're going to switch, so it will be Adi Maida putting the ball in play. Eastridge taking a more defensive stance as of late.
Woo. Nice move there. If that didn't work, that would have been dangerous.
And that will bounce harmlessly away from the Eastridge net. Now the Raptors will get their substitutions in. The clock stops at 4:40.
They stood there for a full minute waiting to get into the game.
And remember, the clock stoppage only takes effect. Well, we also have a Stillwater player down. Number 11, Dylan Magastad. And looks like he's suffering from a cramp. You're seeing this quite a bit, actually. Opposing players helping each other out. And Magastad will walk off the field, so that was probably why the clock stopped. But Nathaniel Lee giving Magastad an assist, and you're seeing this in football and soccer. If players are cramping up, opponents aren't afraid to help out their conference rivals.
I think that's probably a good trend based on the
players helping players.
Exactly. Well, some of the division you see today, it's nice to see people helping each other out. I love to see that humanity, and I think there's that brotherhood of athletes that you like to see.
And I think there's that common bond as we've got.
Meta's going to get the foul there for a little hand checking.
So that gives Eastridge a free kick in prime scoring range. Not that they need it, but I was going to say I think a lot of athletes can identify with cramps. So Nathaniel Lee with a chance. Eastridge up 3-1. That ball gets behind the Raptors.
Decent ball in the middle.
Do the Ponies have something in them?
They're going to have to beat the defense to pull it off.
They won 3 in a row coming into this, crushing Forest Lake, beating Hastings, and edging Mounds View. But it's looking like they'll come up short against the Raptors, barring something frenetic.
Yeah, it would be an exciting 3 minutes, that's for sure, if this game ends up going to be tied or be a draw, as you had suggested earlier. But the Eastridge defense has not changed in any fashion. They've been consistently solid and not giving Stillwater much of an opportunity.
And a reminder that if you want to watch the Stillwater and Eastridge girls go at it, they will take the field at approximately 7 o'clock. So just keep it right here on Xfinity or YouTube or VacTV.org. And we'll bring you the second matchup. Live and free, just as it should be. Here come the Raptors. They want an encore. They won't get one. Braden Hayes with the save, but one last reminder from Parker Wellman about Eastridge's aggressiveness. You have to appreciate the gutsiness and the confidence they have in their offense.
Yeah, they've certainly been solid. Early on, Stillwater looked better, but that was a long time ago.
It's been Eastridge since. Stillwater tied it briefly, and we mean briefly. For 16 seconds, they got the equalizer, and then the Raptors. Meta!
Wow.
Well, that was a fine display of improvisation. It won't count it for a score, as Parkinson got the save, but
yeah,
heads up move.
Vilmy kicked it, had his teammate on the ground try to clobber it with one of those boomers that I've been asking for. At this point, we're coming up to 1 minute. This might be
a foul on Stillwater should just about ice it. I was going to say, Don, that kick from Maida, that was maybe the closest thing you would get to a real-life version of a turtle score that they keep track of in Rocket League.
And I'm kind of surprised that Eastridge didn't kick it way across the field to just finish this off. They want to kill these 40 seconds and just end this game. And give themselves a solid chance. Like you said, they're in the driver's seat now. Had a slight edge when the game started, but this win gives them control. Barring a crazy upset, they'll be home.
Eastridge should lock up the 1 seed in Section 438. Stillwater was in it for a moment, but Ashton Johnston with that quick response 16 seconds after Stillwater's equalizer, and then another one for good measure. Give the Raptors a 3-1 win. And Eastridge wins this version of one of the best rivalries in Suburban East boys soccer. Don, this game, Eastridge dominated. Stillwater had an edge early, had a couple of looks, but the Eastridge offense won out. Their defense prevented Stillwater from establishing any sort of consistent set.
Right.
And all of that came together. A couple of dazzling goals from Ashton Johnston, and the Raptors asserted themselves as the favorites in Section 4-3A.
Yeah, there wasn't really anyone who showed the kind of skill and talent that Ashton showed. There wasn't anyone to compensate, to make up for that. And so, barring that, Eastridge wins. Their defense was solid, gave up 1 goal, but never really threatened most of the game. And great job by them. I'm impressed by how well they played on defense, because I expect to see Stillwater passing it, working together, scoring. Good job, Eastridge.
Ashton Johnston with 2 goals, Ryder Sikowicz with the other goal for the Raptors. Michael Modine scored the lone goal for the Ponies. Eastridge wins 3-1. We'll pause for about 20 minutes and come back with the second half of our doubleheader as the girls take the pitch at Pony Stadium. You're watching live high school soccer on VAC TV.
The preceding broadcast of Pony Soccer has been supported by the Lumberjack, Bayport's American Legion, Joseph's Restaurant, Pictures Over Stillwater, the Mad Camper,